guys, Movie Junkie for Life, and today we're talking about Blakkklansman, directed by Spike Lee and starring John David Washington and Adam Driver. Blakkklansman is the true story of a cop named Ron Stallworth, played by John Washington, who infiltrates the KKK with the help of a white surrogate partner, played by Adam Driver, who's able to go on to nearly become, I guess, the head of the local chapter of the KKK. So, Blakkklansman. First of all, I'd like to talk about the visuals in this movie because it was the first thing that really resonated with me with this film. This movie has a really great look to it. Of course, you know, the movie, it's shot in I think it's the 70s, that era. So everybody has that look, you know, everybody's sporting like an afro, or, you know, the long hair, the porn stash, that kind of thing. But I thought the colors, the color choices, the color palette, the visuals really stood out. And of course, the opening scene actually stars Alec Baldwin, and he's telling this speech about, you know, white power and that sort of thing, and that dynamic. And what I love about that is the whole thing is very practiced, but of course, you're not going to see that in the finished product. So they're just showing you how far people will go to manipulate others, you know. And there's also a lot of mirror scenes in this movie that I really liked. You know, you would have a clans meeting going on, and you would have David Duke, the leader of the KKK. You would have him explaining to his group why they should be the superior race, or, you know, why they should rule America or run America. And then you would have, at the same time, Black Power movement together, and they would have someone speaking to them about the difficulties, the trials and tribulations that they've been through, and why it's important to have Black Power, you know. And you have these two mirrors, you know, almost like showing why, you know, they have this saying, everybody's a hero in their own story, you know. So we're seeing both sides of it, and wherever you stand in that moment, you can see how these people think that they're right, and these people think that they're right, and how those two things can clash and coincide. And the way that Lee would use the visuals to show these things, I really loved how he played those scenes against each other. He also does this wonderful thing where early on they invite, I think his name is Kwame Ture, to speak to the young Black college students, you know, about why Black people need to step up. And Spike Lee does this thing where he frames the Black faces. Everything is blacked out in the background, and it's just the faces. And it looks like those posters from that timeline, you know, those album covers and those sorts of things. I really liked it. It was kind of like a Queen album cover where it's just the faces and everything is blacked out. I love those moments. I love those visuals, I should say. I thought they worked really well for the film. Story-wise, I was actually familiar with this story before I saw the movie through a Cracked article I had read. I didn't know all of it, but I was familiar with the fact that here was this Black man who, you know, he was the first Black officer on the force in Colorado, and he was trying to make a difference. And of course, you know, he's working, anybody from that timeline, you basically pushing against everything to try and make an impact and make things better for the people that are coming after you. And you see his struggles with him having to show that he's not just, you know, like there are things where they say, well, this is how you would speak if you're Black, and this is how I would know. Those things, it works on a funny level, but it also just goes to show you how ridiculous stereotypes are, you know, because he's an educated Black man, he speaks properly, and it's like, oh, well, you can speak jive, you know, and you can speak properly, that sort of thing. There's a lot of moments like that. I thought John Washington did a really good job of portraying this character as somebody who is trying to balance his love, his passion for being a police officer, but also his struggles of being a Black man in that era, in that society, and all the stuff you have to go up against. And Adam Driver is also wonderful in this role. He's very sedated in this role. His character is very much, I should say, the mellow version of Ron Stallworth, you know. And he himself, his character is Jewish, but as he says, he has never thought about what it meant until having to go undercover and really hear all of this negative stuff, all this racist stuff being thrown at him. It made him take a look at himself again and what it meant to him to be born Jewish. You know, so there's a lot of moments like that, and I thought Adam and John, they play wonderfully against each other. Actually, I think the entire cast of the police characters do really well. We have some villainous characters that you're gonna love to hate. There's a couple, I can't remember the actor's name. I just love them because you just love to despise them, you know, and they're just living in their little perfect world of what they think the world should be, and you know how right they think they are, and it's funny, it's sad, it's ridiculous, and you just want them to get their comeuppance. Overall though, guys, this is a good movie, but there are a few issues I had. I thought the second act had some pacing issues, and some tonal issues as well. By that I mean, you would have a moment that was serious, something impactful, something dramatic, and then right after that you would have somebody cracking a joke, you know, like a racist joke or something like that. You would have this moment of brevity. And it just felt like, you know, you were in a car, somebody was doing 100 and it just mashed on the brakes. That didn't work for me. It happened a lot in the second half, the second act. And it threw the pacing off a lot for me in this movie. It doesn't take away from the story. It doesn't take away from I should not say the quality of the film. It doesn't take away from the overall experience a lot. But it happens, and it just threw me a bit every time the pacing, what did that, you know, that stop-go thing. And also when you would have these moments like that, where drama would just hit comedy, and it wasn't cohesive. It would just have a dramatic moment, have a comedic moment, have a dramatic moment, and so on and so forth. So for me, though, that was the real weak spot of this movie. And of course, the ending is quite, I should say, not really the ending, but the end credits. It's difficult to watch. It's one of those cases of what they say, if you don't remember history, you're doomed to repeat it. That sort of thing, you know, it's a very sad look of, you know, they say how far we've come, but have we really come that far? There's a lot of that in this. There's a lot of message, and I'm sure this movie will resonate with a lot of people. For me, as a movie, as a film, it's very well done. It's well acted. Like I said, I really love the visuals and the music that was used in this. The callbacks to cinematic media that took place in that time, movie stars and stuff, and how black film back then, how it would have resonated with everybody, not just black people, but how, you know, movies, blaxploitation films, how those movies could have had a negative impact on black people as a whole, you know, whereas you also had positive films in a sense. You have characters like Pam Grier, who I adore, in films like Coffee, you know, and what those films represented to maybe a black woman in that society. So like I said, there's a lot to unpack here, but overall, guys, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a very good movie, and I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to comment below if you liked this video. You can hit the like button below. It's much appreciated. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can click on my face right over there. And I have past videos there and all beneath there if you want to check those out. And that's it, guys. So until next time, bye-bye.